People in India love fixed deposit. You take a small amount, put it in the bank, there is a lock-in period of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and the bank promises you a return. A fixed return, that's why it's called a fixed deposit. But there are other types of fixed instruments as well, like bonds. Just like you gave money to the bank, you can give money to the government, and it's called a government bond. You can also take this money and give it to companies like Tata Motors or Tata Steel, etc. And again, the same rules apply. It can be fixed for a period of time and they will send you interest for that. But there is one difference in bonds. Bond returns are actually better than fixed deposit returns. So if you see this bond over here, it shows you an 8, 9, whatever % return, and this is fixed. Ye aapko aayega hi aayega. However, and there is always a however, this bond over here was promising 14-15% in returns, but the company went bankrupt. So you didn't earn that 14-15%. The company went bankrupt, so your entire principal that you put in has gone to zero. So of course, there is risk. So today we thought, why doesn't the average aam aadmi invest in bonds? And someone in the office said, because a bond costs 10 lakh rupees minimum to invest. But the answer is very simple. Don't invest in a bond. Invest in a mutual fund, a debt mutual fund, which invests in bonds. So today, we're going to teach you 4 simple steps on how you can analyze a debt mutual fund, get fixed returns, and understand the risk behind all of this so you don't get messed up if one of these companies don't pay up. So let's get started with step number 1. But before that, hit that subscribe button because we're making some really good content that helps you for free. So step number 1. When you search for any mutual fund on the internet, you'll get a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star rating on any of these websites. This is not at all useful. A better way is to use this framework and it will tell you what debt fund is good and what's bad. You need to look at 3 things when analyzing a mutual fund. There is performance, there is risk, and there is cost. So let's start with performance. And I'm using 2 different websites for this. One I'm using is investorcoach.com. And I simply typed Aditya Birla Sun Life medium term plan. Please don't go ahead and buy this. You can choose any other plan, but I'm doing this over here just to show it to you. The framework is really simple and you can take a screenshot if you like. First, we need rolling returns ka information, and I'll tell you how to show this. Next is yield to maturity should be greater than category. This is basically category. This is basically comparing 2 numbers and this number should be greater than this one, and I'll show you where to find both of these 2 numbers. Next is average credit quality is greater than AAA. I've seen a lot of different varieties of apples. People call it California apples, Indian apples, etc. And for each variety, the more expensive one is more expensive. Same thing with wine and many other things. Just like that, we have a rating system for debt. So, for example, a Tata Motors debt instrument might be much higher than Lakshmi Narayan, I don't know what company this is, private limited ka debt. So because of this rating done by different agencies like this, like CRISIL, etc., we're able to know whether the quality of that credit, the quality of that business taking credit is actually good or not. So we just have to make sure that we're investing in a fund that has invested in good quality papers or good quality bonds. Then there is commission taken by the mutual fund. Actually, it's not called commission, it's called expense ratio. Trust the industry to confuse a simple term like fees into TER. But total expense ratio should be smaller than 1%. Basically, this means this is how much the mutual fund will charge for managing your money. This checklist will take less than a few minutes to do, and you can do it on 2 websites absolutely free. That's advisorcoach.com and morningstar.in. These are pretty old websites and pretty reliable. And if you've liked the video so far, please hit that like. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now. And let's just go to these websites, put in a random debt fund and see how to analyze it. So let's look at the first part of this, that's called rolling returns. Now, what are rolling returns? Very simply put, This is a standard metric every mutual fund has to tell you, even for equity. So let's say we have 2000, the year 2000 over here, then 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 2020. And you have 20 years of data. Now, generally, you might look at the last 5 years or the last 3 years, but this is not a correct way of actually looking at how much the return is, because you'll have maximum and minimum points. Instead, if it's a 3-year rolling return, it'll look at year 2000 to 2003, 2001 to 2004, and so on and so forth. After this, it'll take out R1, R2, R3, and finally come out with rolling returns. Now, what does this do? At times when the fund did extremely well, it'll capture that. It'll also capture the troughs really well, and it'll also capture the times when the market wasn't moving a lot. It actually gives you a true average of the returns. So if you look at rolling returns for Aditya Birla, for example, on this website, if I scroll down, I can see cumulative returns, I can see return summary, I can see rolling returns. Now, the rolling returns for 3 years is very interesting. We can see that the minimum is 3.37%, the maximum is 16%, and the median is 9%. Now, imagine the person who opens this up, sees 16% last 1 year and says, damn, मैं तो 16% कमाऊंगा. Isn't that setting wrong expectations for yourself and your friend and the person who's investing? But over here, by looking at rolling returns, I can see minimum, maximum, medium. My expectation should be slightly less than 9.6%. And so over here, I will write rolling returns for 3 years is 9.59%. Cool. Now, there is no checklist here. You should be okay with it. Do you think this is fine? I think it's pretty darn good actually. But let's see the other things. The next thing is yield to maturity should be greater than category. Now, what makes debt interesting is that the debt instrument itself moves. So you can actually trade a bond. And as that bond is moving, it actually affects how much money you'll make if you held that bond till maturity, because there is an expiry date for this bond. Now, without getting into technicalities that you can Google yourself, YTM is basically returns if you held it till maturity. And category average, actually I should write category average over here. We can see whether we are performing equal to all other peers of that mutual fund. So let's see how this works. Now, to see these two metrics, all you have to do is go to Morningstar. And here I've got Aditya Birla Sun Life Medium Term Direct Growth Plan. Whew, quite a mouthful. But now I'll click and go to Portfolio. Now, once I've clicked on Portfolio, over here, this page is opened and we can see the yield to maturity is 7.95. So let me write this as I see it. 7.95%. And the category average is 7.68. 7.68%. So clearly, this is slightly greater. I know in the stock market, हमको लगता है यार ये तो बहुत कम है, but bonds में यही होता है. Okay? Deal with it. It's greater. Good. Let's move on. We have finally average credit quality AAA. Now on the same pane where we were seeing this, we can see average credit rating surveyed, and the investment over here is AA+. And the category average in this case is AAA. You don't need to look at the category average, but anything better than AAA. This is about one level below AAA. In my books, it's okay. If you had to say which is riskier, AAA is riskier or AA+ is riskier, relatively, this is riskier. But actually, it's not that risky. Like something like a B becomes very risky. But AA+ is not bad. It's one level below this. Credit quality is really important because if you choose a bond that has very low credit quality like B or BB, etc., you'll remember this amazing story of Franklin Templeton. They were also a mutual fund. They still are, well. And they had this fund over here whose credit rating was actually in the Bs. And from Bs, it went rapidly down. They had exposure to all these companies which went bankrupt as companies and hence could not pay back. And hence that fund failed. So the investors who had invested in it, that money was locked out. SEBI got involved and all these other things happened. Generally speaking, such things are rare, but they can happen. And for you as an investor, you should make sure you do capital allocation, which means don't put all your money in one instrument. No instrument. In fact, spread it out. Second, make sure the credit quality is on the higher side and understand what the risk is. You as an investor should know risk. If you understand risk, the upside will take care of itself. Next, we need to look at cost. So we're doing all of this. Someone's managing this fund. He's taking your money. The mutual fund manager is investing it, all these different kinds of portfolios. In fact, if I click on detailed portfolio over here, we can see where this particular fund has invested that money. How is this 7.95% coming when my savings account gives a much lower number or an FD gives a much lower number, right? How is that happening? So if I go to detailed portfolio, it has equity. Click on bonds. I can see, okay, यहाँ पे there's 7.26 government stock 2033. 2033 here is the maturity. We can see Republic of India, there is Shriram Finance, LIC Housing, so on and so forth. So we can see 71 instruments. So there's HDFC Bank, DLF Cyber City, etc., etc. You can also see portfolio weight, which means, for example, only 2% of the amount invested has gone to State Bank of India and it's spread. So let's say one of these guys actually go bankrupt. The exposure on a portfolio level is only 2%. So you can manage that risk a little bit. So hopefully, unless the entire economy collapses, in which case we're all messed up anyway, this should be okay. Anyway, I had to show you TER, which is expense ratio. So if you scroll up, you can see something over here called expense ratio. Here it is 0.83%. This is the amount you will pay to that fund manager, to that mutual fund house. Make sure it's less than 1%. In this case, it is. If you are interested in looking at bonds, please don't look at only one fund like we have done here. There is ICICI and there are a bunch of others. Look at all of them. This is a list of all the AMCs in the country. Go through all of them in the same category. This is a medium-term duration. You should check other peers as well and see how they're doing. So this particular example was a medium-term fund, right? Medium term is a few years. This is about under 3 to 5 years, medium term. You also have short term and you have long term. So short term basically means it's shorter term. And I would say as a beginner investor, you should avoid this. You should focus on medium term and long term. What is long term? You've already seen medium term, right? It invests in a bunch of different securities. In the long term category, we have gilt funds, and this is owned by the government of India. Gilt funds is basically a way for you to give sort of like a loan to the government. And since it's backed by the government, it's almost guaranteed that this money will not default. For this money to default, the government of India will have to go bankrupt. And they won't let that happen. And the economy is gone then anyway. So this is considered the safest form of investment because it's actually going to the government of India. This was an easy checklist to actually see whether you should invest in a particular mutual fund or not. But there are a lot more things just from this. Look at all of this. All of this needs to be used before you actually invest in it. This was just a primer. And we honestly did this to understand, did you find this interesting or did you just sleep? Did you think it was boring? I don't know. You tell me. Tell me something in the comments. Subscribe, like, tell us whether you actually found this interesting. If you did, we can do a deep dive on just bonds to understand how the hell does fixed income work. And in true our nature, we'll talk about the risks so you understand how this actually works. Hit that like and subscribe button if you found this video useful, and see you in the next video.
Bonds. Wow, okay, let's do it. Avada Kedavra.